Imagine this. It's 1941. Britain is standing alone, battered but unbowed, against the full might of Nazi Germany. The future of Europe, and perhaps the world, hangs by a thread. Prime Minister Winston Churchill knows that without help, the fight is almost unwinnable. He had been writing to U.S. President Franklin Roosevelt for months, even years, pleading for America to join the fight. The Lend-Lease Act helped, but what Britain truly needed was soldiers. Then, on December 7, 1941, the attack on Pearl Harbor happens. America is in the war. For Churchill, this was the moment he had been praying for. He later wrote that he slept the sleep of the saved and thankful. Just a month later, in January 1942, the first American troops, the GIs, began arriving in Northern Ireland. This wasn't just a symbolic gesture. It was the start of a massive military buildup, a wave of fresh energy and power flooding into the weary British Isles. The most powerful moment came during an official parade in London. American soldiers, young, confident, and well-equipped, marched through the streets of the bomb-scarred capital. Churchill himself stood on a balcony to watch them pass. As he looked down at these thousands of young men who had crossed an ocean to fight alongside his people, the famously stoic Prime Minister was overcome with emotion. He wasn't crying from sadness, but from a profound sense of relief and certainty. He turned to an aide and said something like, "This is it. We've won." For him, seeing those soldiers made the alliance real. It was no longer just a political agreement. It was a physical reality, a shared burden. The abstract hope for victory had become a tangible promise marching right before his eyes. Of course, it wasn't always smooth sailing. There were cultural clashes and jokes about the Americans being overpaid, oversexed, and over here. But beneath it all was an overwhelming feeling of hope. The arrival of the Americans meant that Britain was no longer alone. This was about more than just extra manpower. America brought its incredible industrial might, a flood of resources that would be crucial for the war effort. It made planning massive operations like the D-Day landings possible. Churchill understood that with America fully committed, the fundamental math of the war had changed. Victory was no longer a desperate hope. It was now an inevitability. This pivotal moment cemented Churchill's belief in the special relationship between Britain and the United States, a partnership that would not only win the war, but also shape the world for decades to come. It was a testament to how the arrival of friends in a time of desperate need can turn the tide of history.